Hey everyone, this is Steve Sciavillo of Chiesa di Totti.com and Across the Romeverse podcast. Richard and Frank asked me to record my fan reaction from a Roma standpoint for today's Roma Milan match. It's about 3 hours after the match ended. I took a little time to digest the match and, let the trick-or-treaters stop ringing my doorbell to record. Unfortunately for Roma, it was a bit of a horror show at the Olimpico tonight. They got it wrong from the beginning. Many fans will point to the refereeing as the reason they lost. I can't say that it's the reason they lost. Certainly, arguments can be made on some of the calls, especially the kick from Pellegrini on Kyer on Pellegrini at the end of the match. But, until Theo Hernandez took his red card in the 66th minute, Roma really wasn't in this match. I have to admit, this is probably the worst match Roma's played so far this season in the league. There were some encouraging signs against Juve and Napoli. I felt against Juve they were a bit unlucky. Especially to concede so early because Juve was able to just pack it in and play their usual Allegri low block and just hold Roma at bay. The Napoli match was a 0-0 hard-fought draw. Could have gone either way. Roma maybe a little bit unlucky not to score in that one. But in this one, Milan had 66% of the possession pretty much until Theo went off. So 2-1 possession. The passing percentage, I think at halftime when I checked, Milan much higher passing percentage at the time. They were creating more chances. Roma, again, I think, according to Paramount, at the end of the match, Roma had 24 shots total, but only 6 on target. One was the El Shaarawy goal in stoppage time. A couple chances here and there. But again, Roma, disjointed in attack, in my opinion. If you're going to play counterattack, you have to be a lot more fluid with your passing when you do break out. Have to be much more decisive with your passing. Roma leaves way too many loose passes. They got bailed out a couple times. I guess credit to the defense for playing a good line and catching Ibra offside on both goals. One was scored by Leao, one was scored by Ibra. Both were offside because of Ibra on the initial passes. But, the penalty, a lot of people point to Maresca on the penalty. At first, I thought it was a bad call after seeing the replay over and over again. He did, by rule of the law, make the right call. Ibanez did catch a little piece of Ibrahimovic before he got the ball, so it is a penalty by rule of the law. Roma was given a lifeline when Theo took the red card, and they did start to impose their will a little bit more. Milan packed it in. Everybody, back defending. Ibra came off after the 57th minute, so Giroud was in there as the outlet man. But really, it was just, hold Roma at bay, and they did that for a long time. Mancini had a rocket of a shot stopped by Tatarantsu. A couple other chances. But Roma, like I mentioned, only 6 shots out of 24 on target. That's 25%. It's something they've struggled with in recent weeks, even in the Calcio match that they were able to pull out late. It took a beautiful Pellegrini free kick to win it, and the attack that Roma was scoring so often early in the season is really drying up a bit. I really like what Tammy brings to the table. Tammy was quiet again for the 3rd match in a row against a big team. I'm certainly not writing him off yet. I think Roma made a good investment in him. In the long term, it'll pay off, but Roma needs the big players to step up in these matches. Zaniolo looks willing every time they play these teams, but the end product hasn't been there for him yet. Can't knock his hustle. Pellegrini was a little bit more involved tonight than he was against Juve or Napoli, but many of his shots were off target. It was a tough match to digest for Roma. I think, Mourinho brought up the referees. That was the only comment. He didn't name the referees in his post-match comments. He made one comment where he basically said there was a lack of respect. And if I say much more, then, I won't be on the touchline against Venezia next week. So, we see where his head is at. Certainly there are some arguments to be made, but, the referee didn't lose Roma the game. I think Roma lost the match. This was the first time they were really outclassed. The Lazio match, they came back. Verona took a Farioni, beautiful shot to win that match. And then, like I said, the last 2 matches that they did not get wins in were matches they were in. This one did not feel that way at all. Disappointing result for sure. Only 1 point out of 9 in this 3-match stretch against big sides, Juve, Napoli, and Milan. Really leaves a lot to be desired. It's the same old story, even with a different manager. Even though I see some positive signs overall this season, there weren't many in this match. And Roma's really going to have to rebound. They get Venezia before the international break, and when Inter and Atalanta come before New Year's, they really need to find a result because they need to change that narrative against big teams that they can't win. So, this is my reaction. If you want to catch more, check it out across the Romeverse. Probably up on Tuesday or late Monday night, and you can get some more Roma reaction there. Thanks for listening.